So today, we will discuss one of the most misunderstood topics when it comes to the field of philosophy or self-knowledge, which is the law of karma. You all must have heard about this. It is one of the core messages of the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. But the true essence of the law of karma is often misunderstood or unknown to the majority of people. Mostly, people think that the law of karma talks about actions and deeds, that if you do good, you will have good, and if you do something bad or wrong, then you will have to face the consequences accordingly. But that is absolutely false. This is a very superficial understanding of the verse. The law of karma actually does not say anything about the action. Rather, it focuses on the actor. Yes, the law of karma does not mean that you will have to face consequences for your actions, or that what goes around comes around. It actually says that if the actor is right, then any action done by him or her will be right. And if the actor or the doer is wrong, then the action is wrong. Yes, the action per se has no significance. Rather, the actor, or one can say, the center from which the action has been done, is what is important. You might be doing so-called good deeds or things that are acceptable to you and the society you live in. But if you are wrong, if you're doing it from the wrong center, then it has no value. For something to be called bad or wrong, you don't have to wait for any action itself. If the actor is wrong, then the bad has already happened. So the law of karma actually does not wait for you to do something wrong. Yes, if you are wrong, then wrong has already happened. Let's understand this with a real-life scenario. Let's say you are going to put your children into school, and you want them to have the best education possible. So what you do is a lot of research on which is the best school out there. You save a lot of money. To save that money, you do all kinds of hustle and bustle, and then you finally put your kid in the best school possible. And everything is going fine, just as you wanted. Your child is becoming bright and intelligent. But as he grows older, one fine day, you get a call from the police department that your child has killed a family in a car crash, and he has been found under the influence of drugs along with his friends. And now, without warning, the sky seems to have come crashing down upon you, and you are in shock and despair. How can this happen? We have done everything that we could have. We have brought him up with the best values and ethics. We have not spared any effort in his education. And still, this has happened to us. God knows what wrong karma of ours has led to this. Now, I want you to pay close attention and ask yourself, what has gone wrong here? Is this their wrong karma, bad luck, or something else? Some of you will say it's just bad luck, while some of you might say there must have been something wrong or lacking in the child's upbringing that led to this. But now listen. The biggest problem here is that we judge the action. We say, how can he do something like this? And this is where the problem arises. We never ask what he has become. We focus on the deed, not on the doer. And that's where the biggest problem is. Nobody is concerned about what he has become, rather about what he has done. If that accident had not happened, then nothing would have been bad or wrong according to everyone. But that's not true. That accident has just revealed the truth in a blatant manner. The wrong karma is not what he has done, but what he has become. The fault of the parents is not that they have done something wrong in his parenting, or that they have lacked in any way in his upbringing. The fault is that they themselves don't know what real education means. They themselves have no idea of what the right way of upbringing and parenting is. For them, sending their child to the best school possible and taking care of his basic necessities and physical needs, that's all that comes under the purview of good upbringing. But real education is not just about books and degrees. It is about wisdom, self-awareness, and understanding life in its entirety. And that is where Krishna and his teachings in the Bhagavad Gita come into play. When Arjuna is confused and going through intense emotional and moral turmoil, it is this moment of vulnerability that sets the stage for Krishna's teachings in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna provides Arjuna with the wisdom of the self, duty, and the nature of life and death, encouraging him to rise above his emotional turmoil and fulfill his duty as a warrior. So the real fault does not lie in any action. Arjuna also killed his own brothers in the battlefield, and that kid also killed a family in the car crash. But the difference is in the being, not in the action. One action is being done after attaining self-knowledge and defeating one's ignorance and fake, worthless emotions. And the other action is being done in ignorance and in the state of intoxication, both at the level of physicality and consciousness. And this is the only parameter. Every action that has been done without self-knowledge or awareness is bad and will only lead to chaos, conflict, and grief. And every action that is being done in awareness, whether charity or killing someone, will bring peace, harmony, and prosperity. The fundamental mistake we make is believing that karma is a transaction, but it is actually a transformation. It is not about rewards and punishments, but about the evolution of the self. Imagine a thief donating a huge sum to charity. Does that make him virtuous? No, because his center is still corrupt. Now imagine a soldier who kills on the battlefield to protect his people. Is he evil? No, because his center is rooted in duty and awareness. The action itself does not carry meaning. It is the consciousness behind it that determines its nature. If we want to change our lives, we must not only change what we do, but who we are. True karma is about purifying the self, not just modifying behavior. If your inner self is in conflict, no matter how many good deeds you do, you will never be at peace. That is why Krishna emphasizes nishkam karma, action without attachment to the result. Acting with self-awareness and detachment from the fruits of action is the highest form of karma. This means being fully present in the action without greed, ego, or fear. When you act with complete awareness, your actions automatically align with the truth. The real transformation begins when we stop focusing on what we get and start focusing on what we become. Every moment of your life, you are creating karma, not through what you do, but through the consciousness from which you act. If you live in ignorance, your karma will trap you in suffering, no matter how noble your actions seem. If you live in awareness, your karma will liberate you, no matter how harsh your actions appear. This is the essence of true freedom, the ability to act without being bound by the action. The law of karma is not about keeping a balance sheet of good and bad. It is about awakening to who you truly are. The moment you understand this, your entire perspective on life changes. You stop fearing karma, and instead you start using it as a tool for self-transformation. And that is the ultimate wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. The realization that true freedom comes not from escaping karma, but from transcending it through self-awareness. Thanks for watching till the end, and if you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this.